Okay. So next, those are the preparation methods of the amines. Okay. Next, properties of the amines. So let us finish the physical properties of the amines. Okay. Physical properties of amines. So first here, boiling point. Boiling point of the amines. Now suppose this is the primary amine. This is also primary amine, and this is also primary amine. So all are the primary amines. So molecular weight increases, so boiling point increases. Okay. Now I am taking CH3, CH2, CH2, NH2. Okay, is a primary amine. CH3, NH, C2H5, secondary amine. CH3N, CH3, CH3, tertiary amine. So all have the same molecular weight. So which one is the higher boiling point? So actually here the primary amine has a higher boiling point. Why primary amine has a higher boiling point? For suppose R, here hydrogen, this hydrogen, here nitrogen, hydrogen, this one R. So this hydrogen can be involved in a hydrogen bond. Okay. So this hydrogen can be involved in a hydrogen bond. But in case of the secondary amine, so R, N, R, here hydrogen, that can form the two hydrogen bonds only. That means hydrogen of the another molecule, NRR. So here nitrogen of another molecule, like this. So here per molecule there are the two hydrogen bonds. Here per molecule there are the three hydrogen bonds. So higher the extent of the hydrogen bonding, so it has a higher boiling point. Okay. So in this case, for tertiary amine, no hydrogen. No hydrogen bond, because here the hydrogen is not attached to the nitrogen. Okay, that's it. Next, solubility. Okay, solubility. Amines మనం డిస్కస్ చేస్తే బాయిలింగ్ పాయింట్ కొన్ని ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్. Here this one NCH3 tertiary amine. Now next, this one NH2 primary amine, same number of carbons, same number of carbons. Here H, here CS, secondary amine, same number of carbons. So it is a primary amine, secondary, tertiary. So 2 has higher boiling point, 3 and 1. So boiling point order. And next here another property, solubility. Which one is the higher solubility in water? The primary amines are more soluble. NH2, R2NH, and then R3. Yeah. Why? Because this primary amine, the two hydrogens form a hydrogen bond with water molecule. So that means here more interactions with more association with water molecule. It means here more solubility. For suppose R3N, this nitrogen has only one chance for the formation of the hydrogen bond with the water molecule. Now in this case here one nitrogen and one hydrogen. So this molecule has a more attractions with the water molecule. So that means more association with water molecule, more solubility. Okay. This one here, one nitrogen and two hydrogens form hydrogen bond with water molecule. That means this one is a higher affinity or higher association with water molecule. It means primary amines are more soluble than the secondary amines. Okay. So next here, boiling point of alcohols and amines. Boiling point of alcohols and amines. Here alcohols have a higher boiling point than the amines, because here this OH, this war, okay, here H, here war. For suppose here R, NH, here hydrogen, this hydrogen NH. So here OH hydrogen bond, here NH hydrogen bond. This OH hydrogen bonding is a stronger bond. Okay, that's why alcohol has a higher boiling point than the amine. Okay. Of course here next, ethers have less boiling point, because in this case there is no hydrogen bonding. There is no hydrogen which is attached to the more electronegative element, that is oxygen. So that is okay. So alcohols, amines and ethers. Then the ethers, which compound have the less boiling point? Alkanes have less boiling point, because this carbon oxygen bond is slightly polar. Okay, carbon oxygen bond is a slightly polar bond. So due to polar nature of the compound, that has a higher value. Okay, so that is a physical property. Okay, so next another reaction. Okay, chemical properties. Next, chemical properties. So actually here, amines are basic in nature. Amines are basic in nature. Amines are basic in nature. So that means here, amines are basic in nature. So RNH2 on reaction with sodium, just wait. RNH2 on reaction with NaOH, no reaction. On reaction with sodium bicarbonate, no reaction. Why? Because NaOH is a base, RNH2 is also base. RNH2 also base. Of course, on treating with sodium hydride, on treating with sodium hydride, NaH, Na plus H minus. This is a very strong base. This is a very strong base. In the presence of the strong base, another compound acting as an acid. Another compound acting as an acid. So H minus and H plus combined, so H2 gas is produced. Plus RNH minus Na plus. It is a conjugate base. In the presence of the very strong base, we can remove the proton from the RNH2. Because amines are the weaker acid, amines are the less acidic. So generally acting as a base. So this amine on reaction with NaOH is a weaker base, and sodium bicarbonate, it is also weak base. So there is no reaction. Okay, there is no reaction. But strong base, by using strong base, H minus can remove the H plus from this compound. So H2 gas is released. Okay. Now this one on treating with HCl, on treating with HCl, protonation takes place. So that gives a RNH3 plus and Cl minus. RNH3 plus and Cl minus. Okay. So ammonium chloride formation. Alkyl ammonium. This is alkyl ammonium. Ammonium means here NH for Cl. One hydrogen replaced by the alkyl. So alkyl ammonium chloride. Alkyl ammonium chloride. Okay. For suppose on treating with H2SO4. So RNH3 plus HSO4 minus alkyl ammonium bisulfite. Alkyl ammonium bisulfite. Just acid base reaction takes place. Okay, just acid base reaction takes place. Okay. For suppose this carboxylic acid, sulfonic acids, carboxylic acids and sulfonic acids on reaction with the sodium bicarbonate. This sodium bicarbonate is decomposed by the stronger acids. Stronger acids. So by the decomposition of this compound, we will get the CO. Okay. So by the decomposition of carboxylic acid, by the decomposition of sodium bicarbonate, so you get the CO2 gas because these are stronger acids, and of course stronger acid can decompose sodium bicarbonate. But here ammonia cannot decompose the sodium bicarbonate. Okay. Of course, alcohols and phenols also cannot decompose sodium bicarbonate because weaker acids. I think already might have known this point. Okay. Carboxylic acid, sulfonic acid, stronger acid, so sodium bicarbonate is decomposed and produce CO2. Okay, here in this case no CO2. But the point is that RNH2 on treating with HCl, aqueous HCl, aqueous HCl. So here in this case, we will get the RNH3 plus Cl minus. RNH3 plus Cl minus. Now, this one on treating with sodium bicarbonate, we will get the CO2 gas. Why CO2 gas is produced? It means here the sodium bicarbonate is decomposed. Okay, sodium bicarbonate is decomposed. How this sodium bicarbonate is decomposed? Because of the aqueous HCl. Aqueous HCl. There is a stronger acid actually. So here this HCl also decompose sodium bicarbonate. For example, sodium bicarbonate HCl adjust, you will get the brisk effervescence CO2 gas. So in this case, why this reaction takes place? Actually, by direct addition of the sodium bicarbonate to the amine, no reaction. But here, first adding aqueous HCl, then adding sodium bicarbonate. This reaction, that means sodium bicarbonate is decomposed because that mixture contains HCl. HCl is a stronger acid. So because of the stronger acid HCl, that is decomposed. Produce CO2. Okay, so that is. So acid-base reaction takes place. Okay, so now in this case, another point. These are basic in nature. Okay, just to stop the video and write down. Okay, basic in nature. These are the basic in nature. So generally here, aliphatic amines and aromatic amines. If NH2 is directly attached to this one, this is aromatic amine. This is aliphatic amine. These aliphatic amines are more basic because these non-bonding electrons. What is actually base? The electron donor is a base. If the compound donates electrons heavily, strongly, readily, then it is a strong base. But in this case, this lone pair of electrons are not in a resonance. Those lone pair of electrons are engaged by the benzene ring. Okay, so that's why here this is the less basic. It cannot transfer its non-bonding electrons to the acid. That's why it is the less basic than the this compound. Ethylamine, there is no resonance. That's why it is more basic than the aniline. Now, okay, aliphatic amines are more basic than the aromatic amines. Or suppose this compound, the previous JEE mains question. Okay, so in this case HCl, that means limited one equivalent of the HCl. Okay, one NH2 attached to the benzene directly, one NH2 is not directly attached to the benzene. So this lone pair of electrons are involved in resonance here. This lone pair of electrons are not involved in resonance. That's why a protonation on this NH2 takes place. So we will get this compound. So NH2 and this one NH3 plus Cl minus. That's it. Okay. Now CH3NH2 and CH3C double bond OH, which are basic in nature. So here amines are basic. This is amine, this is amide. Okay, amines are more basic because this lone pair of electrons are involved in a resonance with C double bond O. That's why amines are more basic than the amide. Okay, this is freely available, but it is not freely available. That is also engaged with the CO electron with the drag. Okay, is an important point. That is basic. Okay. Okay, just write down. Hello students and friends. So here I want to discuss the resonating structures of some different compounds. Those are anilinium ion, and this is a phenyl phosphonium ion, and this is a diazonium ion. This is phenyl diazonium ion. Okay. So here these compounds have a some specificity in resonating structures. So first of all, this aniline on protonation will get the anilinium ion. This anilinium ion has how many resonating structures? So actually here, the like benzyl carbocation, this is the benzyl carbocation. This carbon undergo sp2 hybridization, so there is a vacant p orbital. So these electrons can be delocalized into the vacant p orbital. So like this, we will get the 5 resonating structures. Okay, 5 resonating structures for the benzyl carbocation. Of course, here it is also, it seems to be similar like a benzyl carbocation. So this one also must have the 5 resonance structures. But here in this case, the resonance with NH3 plus is not possible. Here NH3 plus means here what is the hybridization that has sp3 hybridization. sp3 hybridization means here there are no vacant orbital, the like a p orbital or like a d orbital. Actually nitrogen is a second period element, so that has no vacant d orbital also. So here that pi electrons delocalization into the nitrogen is not possible. That's why this resonating structure is not exist. Of course, you know that the nitrogen has a 5 bonds, but here maximum valence of the nitrogen is 4. So that's why resonance with NH3 plus is not possible. But this anilinium ion has a 2 resonating structures. These 2 resonating structures are possible by the just pi conjugation. Okay, already you know that the benzene has a 2 resonating structures. So within the benzene ring, the 2 resonating structures are possible. Okay, so anilinium ion has a 2 resonating structures, and now that phenyl phosphonium ion has a 5 resonating structures. Like benzyl carbocation, this phenyl phosphonium ion has a 5 resonating structures. Why phenyl phosphonium ion has a 5 resonating structures? Here in this case, pH3 plus, this hybridization also sp3 hybridization, but here phosphorus is a third period orbital. So here that has a vacant 3d orbital. So into this vacant 3d orbital, these electrons can be delocalized. We'll get the different resonant structures. Totally 5 resonant structures we can get. Of course, here covalence of the phosphorus 5 is possible because of the vacant d orbitals. That's why generally we are saying PCl5 exist, but NCl5 not exist because of the presence of the vacant d orbitals in phosphorus, but nitrogen has no vacant d orbitals. Okay, and next coming to this aniline, this aniline on reaction to HNO2 will get the benzene diazonium ion. Benzene diazonium ion. This benzene diazonium ion has a 7 resonating structures. Okay, 7 resonating structures. So actually here, of course, in this case, this nitrogen N double bond N, this is multiple bond, so that acting as a withdrawing group. So here by transfer of electrons, we'll get the 5 resonance structures like benzaldehyde or nitrobenzene. So 5 resonance structures are possible. And here, so generally resonance structures is nothing but the possibility of the more than one Lewis structure. So the phenomena of the possibility of the more than one Lewis structure is known as a resonance. For example, O3 has a 2 Lewis structures. Those are nothing but resonant structures. And carbonate ion has a 3 Lewis structures, and those structures are known as a resonant structures. And similarly in this case, for benzene diazonium ion, this is the one structure. For this one, 5 resonant structures are possible, and this one also possible. Okay, N double bond N. That means here by transfer of these electrons, okay, that means here this nitrogen, positively charged nitrogen, by transfer of electrons, that means here by gaining of the electrons, that becomes a neutral, this neutral nitrogen, and this nitrogen carries a positive. So here this one also one possible structure. Now in this case here, the by changing of position of pi electrons, we will get the 2 resonant structures. Okay, so here in this case totally 7 resonant structures possible for the benzene diazonium ion. Okay, thank you. Okay, so here the last one reaction of this class is carbyl amine reaction. Carbyl amine reaction or isocyanide test. Isocyanide test. The test means here given by only primary amines. Only primary amines, either aliphatic or aromatic. Either aliphatic or aromatic amines can be identified by this reaction. That's why here isocyanide test. That means product is isocyanide. So actually in this case, primary amine on treating with KOH and chloroform, we will get the RNC plus KCl. Okay, 3 moles of KCl plus H2O. Okay, 3 moles of the KCl and H2O. In this case here, 3 moles. Here 1 mole, 1 mole. Next here, this case, this is the hydrogen, 2 hydrogen, 3 hydrogens, 3, 6. 6 means 3 H2O, 3 oxygen. S. That is the reaction. So in this case here, 1 mole of chloroform and 3 moles of KOH are consumed in this reaction. Okay, this is the amine, primary amine. This is alkyl isocyanide. Alkyl isocyanide. Okay, alkyl isocyanide is the product. So actually it is a foul smelling compound. Foul smell compound. Very bad smell. Once if you do this reaction in a laboratory, we cannot enter into the lab up to 10 days or 1 week. Okay, so the foul smell, bad smell intensity chala bhayankaranga untadi. Okay, that's it. So here in this case, how this reaction takes place? So actually by combination of this chloroform and see this one. Okay, this chloroform here OH minus base, OH minus base. This base remove the H plus. So then product is Cl, Cl, Cl. Okay, H plus is removed. Okay, H plus removed by the OH minus. So next in this case, here 2 electrons, Cl minus leaving, Cl minus leaving. So we will get the carbene, dichlorocarbene is a reaction intermediate. Dichlorocarbene is a reaction intermediate. Now this one acting as electrophile, 2 electrons, 2 electrons, 2 electrons, total 6 electrons, that is electron deficient, acting as a nucleophile, attacks on which one? Amine. This is nucleophile, attacks on this one. So here we will get the R, N, H, here H, C, Cl, Cl. That's it. Okay, that is the compound. Of course, nitrogen carries a positive charge, this one carries a negative charge. Because this carbon gains electrons from the nitrogen and this is the donor carries a positive, this acceptor carries a negative. So next here, by treating with furtherly 2 moles of KOH, loss of HCl takes place. So you will get the RNC, here plus and Cl. Of course, 2 KCl and 2 H2. Okay. So that is the product, 1 H2. Alkyl isocyanide is the product. So the main point is dichlorocarbene is the reaction intermediate. In this case, main point is dichlorocarbene is the reaction intermediate, and here 1 mole of CaCl3 chloroform. Okay, 1 mole of chloroform and 3 moles of KOH consumed. And what is the product? Alkyl isocyanide is the product. And what is the condition? Only this reaction given by the primary amines, either aliphatic or aromatic amines. It is used for the identification of the primary amines. Okay. That means here for suppose CH3, CH2, NH2, this one on heating with chloroform and KOH. Okay, alcoholic KOH. That means alcoholic KOH and ethyl alcohol would add just. So then product is CH3, CH2, NC. For suppose CH3, NH2. This is the tertiary butyl amine. The tertiary butyl amine, but it is a primary amine. So this one also gives a reaction CH3, NC. That means CH3 thrice N, no reaction, tertiary amine, and CH3NH, ethyl, secondary amino. This is also no reaction. And now aniline. Aniline is a primary amine. This one gives a positive test. It is a phenyl isocyanide. Phenyl isocyanide. Okay. So that is about the carbylamine test or carbylamine reaction or isocyanide test. So your main points are this test is useful for the identification of the only primary amines but not secondary and tertiary, and the product is poor smelling compound alkyl isocyanide, and here 1 mole of the chloroform and chloroform and 3 moles of the KOH, and the reaction remedy is dichlorocarbon. Okay, these are the main points. Okay, that's it. Thank you.